Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the North Cap University, it is our pleasure to welcome our respected faculty members, our esteemed guests, and all the students present here today. I am Arushi, a second year BTech student.
And I am Abhimanyu, also a second year BTech student. Today is especially significant for our first year students as their masterclass marks one of the very first steps in their journey towards building successful careers. We are delighted to be a host for today's masterclass under the theme Future of Careers and Skills.
The world of work is evolving faster than ever. Success in today's dynamic environment is no longer determined solely by academic qualification, but by the ability to learn continuously, adapt to change, and create value.
As you begin your journey at NCU, it is important to recognize that your career doesn't start after graduation, it starts today. Every classroom discussion, projects, internship, leadership role, and interaction contributes to shaping your professional identity.
This week's sessions are designed to help you develop the mindset and skills needed to thrive in an AI powered, rapidly changing world and prepare you to seize opportunities from the very first day.
Your employability is built over the next few years, not in the final semester. This session is designed to encourage you to think beyond grades and understand what employers truly value in today's competitive job market.
Through practical insights and real world examples, you will explore how to build a professional reputation through your attitude, conduct, and consistency because your reputation becomes your resume.
And finally, create meaningful experiences through projects, internships, competitions, certifications, leadership roles, and networking that set you apart.
To guide us through this important conversation, we are delighted to welcome Ms. Vatsala Saxena, Associate Director, Global Strategic Hiring and Redeployment, Wipro.
With her extensive experience in talent acquisition and strategic hiring, she has played a pivotal role in identifying and nurturing talent for one of the world's leading technology organizations. Her insights into what employers seek in today's graduates will provide you with the valuable guidance as you begin building your own professional journey.
Ms. Vatsala Saxena is an HR professional with over 9 years of experience, specializing in leadership hiring, talent acquisition, inclusion and diversity, and employer branding. She has successfully recruited for leadership roles across consulting, delivery, sales, and pre sales functions while partnering with business leaders to build high performing teams.
Passionate about innovation and technology, Ms. Saxena has also led key inclusion and diversity initiatives and contributed to HR analytics and employer branding projects. Known for her analytical approach and creative problem solving, she is committed to delivering exceptional candidate experiences and helping organizations attract and retain top talent.
A firm believer in a philosophy, experiment to experience. She's a lifelong learner with a keen interest in HR innovation, talent management, and people analytics. Beyond work, she shares her perspectives through her blog, Vatsala Insights, and enjoys reading, music, and nature photography. May I now request our esteemed chief guest to kindly come on stage?
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Lovely. First, I'd want to apologize sincerely for the 20-minute delay, but it did give me a very different perspective while I was stuck in the traffic, crossing quite literally three states from Uttar Pradesh, Delhi to Haryana. But the only motivation to be here was to see the lovely, bright faces starting off their journey with NOCAP University. So, first, give yourselves a big round of applause for being here today. Lovely. So, I wanted to start the session with a very different question. But while I was stuck in traffic, I thought, isn't that similar to how life is? And also similar to the topic that we're here discussing today. You are being hired from day one. So while I was stuck in traffic for those extra 20 minutes, I had prepared all morning to be here at sharp 10:30, address all of you, but detours, traffic, the weather changed, right? And isn't that what is your college life as well? No matter how much you think you've done the best, done your projects, initiatives, been part of different communities, life will always have a detour for you ready. But what prepares you to address some of these challenges, no matter how many come your way, is how you prepare well starting from day one. So, moving on, I actually have a challenge to start off. The Future You Challenge. I know this is day one, right? But close your eyes for 20 seconds and think about all of you sitting here, not at your induction day, but at your graduation ceremony. And imagine that there are 20 students out of this entire audience who has bagged the best offers, the best one everyone aspired to have. And there are another 20 students who probably are receiving different awards and accolades for the work that they have done during their tenure in the college. So close your eyes and think what made those 20 students who got the best offers and the 20 students who were there seated among all of you to receive those awards during the graduation ceremony. What made them different? Take a quick 20 seconds. And I'd love to have at least 10 of you come here on stage because I do want to do this activity and have all of you answer that question for your own colleagues. So let's take a quick 20 seconds. What made those 40 students different or stand out among the 1,000 students that are actually sitting at a graduation ceremony? If you have your answers ready, I just need the first 10 students. Just feel free to come here. I hope I can do that. Lovely. Don't have the answers yet? Still thinking? Don't feel shy. I think this is also the start of how you own your story from day one. So I'd love to see who are those 10 students who want to come up here and share their perspectives. Don't feel shy. Don't think about what everyone will think if I say something different. I already see 3 students coming. So a big round of applause for the first 3 to start off the initiative. I need another 7 more. And none of the answers are wrong. It's just what you thought was right from your perspective. So I want these 10 students to share those different perspectives of what they thought made the 40 students different from a crowd of 1,000 students. Awesome. So we have 5, 6. Lovely, 7. So we just need 3 more. Awesome. We have 2 more coming in. Lovely. Any more people who want to join in to make a 10 so we can start off quickly? Don't feel shy. Trust me. I've been there too, and I'll share my personal story today as well. So if you still feel shy today, I have been a student years back, sitting right in the audience thinking, what will people think about me if I say something wrong? So kudos and a big round of applause for all these students to come here, have the courage to answer that one question that we begun the session with. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining in. Now, if you all are 10 of you, can you divide yourselves into groups of 2, 5 each? Randomly, no friends, just go wherever you feel like. Into groups of 2. Awesome. Great. So can the 2 groups stand a bit apart so it's easier for us to figure out which are the teams? Awesome. Now, I want each of the groups to appoint a leader who will represent all the answers that each of the members want to state for this question. You have a quick 5 seconds or 10 seconds to appoint a leader among each of your groups. Anyone can be the leader. Awesome. You can decide among yourselves. So you can decide among yourselves who wants to be the leader, and then just tell me, discuss amongst each of you. The leader should be able to represent the group with the thoughts that each of the member had. So take another 10 seconds, discuss your thoughts, and I want the leaders to come forward. Yeah, sure. Lovely. So are you ready? With all the answers representative of your groups? So for this group, what's your name? So we have Divyanjali, I'm so sorry. For group one, she's the leader. For group two, who's the leader? What's your name, please? Sorry? So we have Rashi for group two. Now, Divyanjali, I just want you to take a quick 7 seconds and summarize what your team represents or wanted to give an answer to this question. So maybe while Divyanjali prepares, Rashi, are you ready? Now, I want all of you to also observe this activity here, right? Because there'll be a lot of takeaways for you from this particular activity, not just the answer to the question. So be keen observers. And I'd love for you to all have takeaways. We may not be able to have everyone share what they learned, but I'm sure that you will take it as a big learning back as you complete the 4 years or 3 years within North Cap University. So, Rashi, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Lovely. Please go ahead.
So what I think is that those students, what did different is going against the odds, focusing on a goal and working tirelessly towards it. They're prepared that they prepared their mind that the challenges will come in their way and they're ready. They prepared themselves that they will face it, they will go against it, and they will reach the goal anyhow.
Awesome. And Divyanjali, are you ready with your answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm going to answer.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Hello. So, ma'am, what I want to tell is there are so many students who prepare for placements, but actually the difference in their preparation is like someone is consistent, someone is doing everything that helps him, like DSA and coding, but there are so many students which have never ever studied about coding. They don't even know what is coding, and they stand up in the placement and in the final year. But what happened to them is they cannot get placed that way. We have to be consistent. We have to study a lot. We have to be a very class guy, that the guy which study a lot, and that's it. That's what I want to say. Now we can go on.
Divyanjali, I'd love for you to speak as well. Anything that you think can add value for the team.
I think that being consistent with the classes and joining regularly and obeying the orders of the mentors and guidance, that will help us a lot in that case.
And guess what? I love the last point that Divyanjali added, which is, I'm so sorry, which is that you have your guides and mentors, right? So keep them close in your journey. What the other said is stay consistent, attend classes. That's one answer, but I'll decode some of that later as well. But my second question to each of the group is, and Rashi would probably have to pass on the mic to the rest of your group, is why did your team choose you as the leader? So I want each of them to just answer and add, why did they choose you as the leader? And any answer is correct. Don't think that any answer would be wrong. So it's okay. That's your perspective. So own it.
I just thought that she could represent both of us, both of our thoughts well. That's why.
And what quality made you think that way?
I don't know.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure, please.
Actually, when I came up on the stage, I started asking him that this is my point, this is my point. So he was like, yeah, you can be the leader. That's why.
Okay, all right. And so were you guys in different groups?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there were three groups. I'm so sorry. But do you want to add? You added something, right? Initially, or no?
No, ma'am.
But do you want to share right now?
Regarding the question
Yes,
that you
yes,
asked.
please do.
Yes, ma'am. I feel like the 40 students that get the better placement, academics was not the only thing that they were aiming. Apart from academics, yeah, they must be very good at academics as well, because on our orientation they told us that our marks, CGPA, everything matters. But apart from that, our skills that we develop outside the college and outside our classes, and our communicating skills, how we talk to the interviewers, the way we present ourselves, these things also matter.
And what's your name?
Vanshika.
Vanchita.
Vanshika.
A big round of applause for her, please. She's actually fabulously answered the topic for today on how do you need to prepare since you're being hired from day one. Now, I want you to share the mic with the second group. And I want the group to answer, why did you choose Rashi as your leader?
I chose her because when I saw that she was coming into the podium, I thought she would, and when I parted with her, like for this activity, I thought she would be the best one to answer these questions.
Okay.
But can I share one perspective of the
Yeah,
question
sure.
from my
Please.
side, please?
Go ahead.
I think that for that 40 students, they are enjoying what they are doing. I, as a psychology student, I need to enjoy what I am doing. Ma'am, for you also, you love your job. That's why you are here right now. If we cannot enjoy what we are doing, nothing will work if we are the best at it. Thank you, ma'am.
Beautiful answer. You need to love doing what you're doing, and that's what will make you different. What's your name? I'm sorry?
My name is Pushpal Basu.
Pushpak. Fabulous. Another big round of applause for adding a very different perspective here.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Sarthak and I'm the leader of our group. So basically,
So did we have more than two groups? I'm confused here.
there
But
were groups of two, 5 groups of two.
oh, I said two groups of five each.
Oh, we thought.
Great. So I think I'll probably stop it here maybe because we also have lack of time. But I think to a few key learnings here, right? I'll probably try to share a perspective from Divyanjali's group because the moment I asked that group, who is going to be your leader? I loved how Divyanjali went ahead and said, I want to be the leader. So it's also about how confidently are you willing to represent people when sometimes the only thing that the team needs is motivation to move forward, right? So a big round of applause for Divyanjali. And even for Rashi and Pushpak, a big round of applause. So Rashi, you beautifully captured it, and you as well. So these are a few learnings, right? What do you need to do that makes you stand out apart from just the skills that you will develop? Thank you all for coming on stage. Sure, please go ahead.
First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and what made that 20 students to come, like out from the other 1,000 students to get graduated and get placement and all. My name is Isparsh Gupta. I am from BTech CSE. What I think that they made these 20 students to get educated and placement cell is the today's topic that we get hired from the day one. It's the structure, it's the planning, and we do all this stuff like what we have to do and how we have to learn and seeking the opportunities, learning about things. And with the way AI is changing in this era, in the next 4 years, what can happen and gathering news in the like fields like AIs and all. Like before, when there were freshers of 2022 sessions, they didn't know what RAG and agentic AI is. But today, when they graduated, that new form of AI has developed as well. So the companies need those perspective, personalities as well, those who know those AIs and can work with them. So with them, we need a mentor and a peer group which like stay equally competitive with us and give us the guidance. We share our thoughts. We make projects together, and together we can lead in a in a profile that we can not let AI replace us, but we actually what make AI, and that makes the generation and this future India to be growing and like making an image that India has made something AI and we students grow with it.
Lovely. A big round of applause for him. The biggest topic: will AI replace your jobs? AI will not replace your jobs. It will replace people who are not using AI. And that was said by the CEO of NVIDIA. So thank you so much for adding that perspective on AI as well. And thank you so much all for being here and adding your perspectives. We'd love to hear you for sure, but I think we're a little short on time. But let's catch up a little later, if that's okay. Awesome. But thank you so much for coming here on stage. Lovely. Great. Moving on, the hiring clock is already running. So the 1,000 students that are there, right? Everyone starts with the perspective that we have a lot of time. The misconceptions that we run with is it's just the first year, the first semester. I can party, I can go out with friends, I can chill a bit, and I can study later. But that is the perspective that will derail you if you do not get the first semester right. The next part is marks matter the most. I would beg to differ. Marks do not matter the most. They do. Obviously, you have to study, you have to score well to ensure that you're at least eligible to be able to sit with organizations for placement. But are marks the only thing? The answer is no. So ensure you work towards identifying what beyond your curriculum would you want to work, build, and move forward with, right? Because that is one perspective that can hold you back as well if you do not plan well ahead. What companies are actually looking for? What is the pattern that you're building starting day one? 3 students here on stage gave very different perspectives. Love what you do, right? How you communicate. Are you ready for what is coming up next? How are you embracing AI? Some of the key conversations that will not only help you stay ahead of the curve, but they will also go ahead and ensure that you are planning your entire journey of these 4 years around some of those key aspects. So take some time after today and think, what does your roadmap for the next 4 years look like outside your curriculum? Now, there are 1,000 students on graduation day. All of them have the same degree. So what will make you different are the signals that you will provide to organizations and the industry. Moving on to the most important topic next. There are many capable students, right? But what makes them invisible? One is low visibility. A lot of times there is a myth that I can keep doing my work. Someone will notice. I will get credit someday. That's also a corporate trap, let me tell you. I had the same perspective earlier, right? Let me do the work. Let's just try to give an output. Someone will identify me someday. But it broke soon enough. So ensure that when you're actually sitting and working on a project, doing an internship, building something new, ensure that your teams, your mentors, your guides, your faculty members are kept posted on the progress updates so they do know who is a Divyanjali, right? Or who is a Pushpak. What are they contributing beyond just being toppers in their subject? I'm just taking it for reference. I hope you guys do become toppers, but ensure that you communicate what you're building during these 4 years. Do not sit in your own silos assuming that someone will come and pick you up and make you sit at the table, right, where the companies are coming to have the conversation. The next one is random effort. So a lot of times we love trying too many things, but because the human attention span is so less, we lose attention if we don't succeed. So ensure that you do not define your measure of success only by an outcome that was achieved. Start defining your success by the number of failures that you have landed in. Because if you're failing in achieving something, it means you're doing something, right? So ensure that those failures become your stepping stone in any project, initiative, learning activity that you're undertaking. And also focus on what was the outcome that you finally landed on. It may be success for you, it may not be success for you. It can be success for someone, it may not be success for someone else, right? So learn to define what success means for you and not what it means for everyone else around you. The next one is late realization. So when I was in, doing my bachelor's of technology years back, I started off with one goal: I need to pass all my exams. I need to get a degree. Oh shucks, maths is difficult. How will I go ahead and work with subjects which have mathematics and those difficult formulas that just went over my head? So technically, I only focused on the projects, the research assignments that were allocated as part of the curriculum. And to give you an example, my brother, who 5.5 years later did his bachelor's in technology, he was much better prepared. When he started off, he was very clear that I want to be part of an IEEE association. I want to partner with them. I want to write research papers. I want to publish them. I want to take part in the CSR activity that the college is doing. I want to do things outside my curriculum so I can build my profile much more strongly. And guess what? He wanted to do a master's in the US. And when we were building his letter of intent for submitting to the colleges, that's when I realized that, that's what makes us different. How we plan our 4 years and ensure that we find the right opportunities to achieve some of these, right? And that's what my brother did. But I did have a chance to redeem some of this as well. When I was doing my master's of business administration, I ensured that I also go ahead, find my avenues that will make me different, apart from just ensuring that I'm doing well in my education curricula. So find what's your different before it's too late. And you see student A and B, I've given you reflections here, and they already answer the question of why both are different. A was a topper, but A was working in the shadows, hoping someone would find him someday and probably give him the credit and the trophy of, wow, you've done a great job. Student B, on the other hand, was good at his studies, right? But did so many other projects, initiatives, and internships. That's what made him stood out. And guess what? He was communicative. He was owning his story. He was owning his credit as well while working in teams. And that's what made student B different. So my only takeaway for you from this slide is be student B. Do not work in the shadows. Always ensure that you are branding yourselves, because that is what will build your entire journey of 4 years. What makes you stand out? While I had this slide as a question, and a few of you answered it here as well. Is it skills in terms of what you know, which means I know Python? Or is it signals, which means, what I can provide or what I can achieve, which means that I know Python and I built a hostel waste tracker. Which is more effective? Let's do it with a raise of hands. Are just knowing your skills more effective? A raise of hands for that. How many of you feel? I can already see 2 of you laughing. So do you think skills are the one that will hold you in good stead? Or do we look at signals? Raise your hands if you think signals are the one that will help you stand out. Fabulous. So ensure that you are not just learning your skills. AI is a skill. What are you delivering with AI? You have opportunity in 4 years. So ensure that every skill that you acquire through the education curricula, you're always trying to find a problem that can be solved through that skill which you acquire. So I would just end this one saying, which is already bold on the slide, is skills tell me what you've studied, but signals will tell me what you can do. And let me just define what signals look like before we get into the next activity. So signals may mean internship. And I don't mean internship with what is mandated for all of you. I mean, internship is also what you're picking outside what your college mandates you. You have a lot of websites today. You have organizations that are providing you unpaid internship as well. So ensure that your priorities are clear. Are you looking to just earn money from an internship, which is why you want to do it? Or Are you looking for an internship because you want to build a solution leveraging the skill that you have acquired? An initiative within college. I'm sure North Cap will have a lot of initiatives where you will have opportunities to not just participate, but also lead some of them. So ensure that you're reaching out to your faculty, your mentors, your guides, and even your peers with an idea to ensure that you do not leave the chance of finding that opportunity to lead an initiative at North Cap University. The next one that I want to talk about is online proof. How many of you have a LinkedIn profile? A quick raise of hands. And how many of you are active on that LinkedIn profile? Lovely. I don't see too many hands. Now, that's a shocker for me, which means that you need to start building your online presence. LinkedIn is just one platform. You have GitHub. You have other AI related platforms as well, where you can go ahead and start looking for what you want to build as your identity online. And the last one is consistency, which also a lot of students here spoke about. You may do 10, 100 things, but if you are not consistent in terms of doing the same thing over and over again in a much better fashion, it will only be an intent that I tried something, but I left it because I got bored of it or because I couldn't solve it, right? So do not get demotivated by failures. Ensure that you're picking your tasks right. That aligns with the roadmap that you have built for the 4 years at North Cap University. Now, I want a quick activity. Just turn on your signal radars, right? With whatever we've discussed right now, go ahead and think about what is that one problem that you saw over the last 1 year around you. It can be in your home, your schools, or maybe just at your first day in North Cap that you thought, oh, this is something I'd love to solve. Or maybe there is some opportunity or problem that you've solved in the past, you've seen results. Anything in a quick 20 seconds. Any problem that you picked up. It can be in your home as well. It can be in your community. It can be in your school. Any problem that stood right in front of you and other people ignored, but you said, I will not ignore this problem because I'd love to solve for this and help relieve some of those people who are facing that issue today. Okay. And I'm sorry, what did you do for that? Okay. Lovely. And thank you so much for adding. I think one signal which she spoke about was indecisiveness of what career you want to pick. And that's a challenge that most of us face in families, with our cousins and in our community. So it's great to see that after your 4 years, you'd love to sort of build on how people can be more clear on what careers they want to take. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else who'd love to share any sort of a problem that you've identified, either solved or would love to solve? Just one more share. None of you? Okay, I see a hand raised there. Could we give him a mic, please?
Actually, ma'am, it is not a problem I solved, but a problem that I seek in students and for me as well personally. That learning, in the next 4 years when I will graduate, then there will be like I need a proper roadmap. Like I have interest in learning about AIs and all, but there should be something structured way in which I will plan, I will execute. Like many are like in a translucent way, like we can't see that what we actually need and what actually we don't. It's just like. Without direction we efforts are doing, but we can't see the results because it's not a structured way of learning that we are doing. So we need actually like mentor who can guide us with a proper roadmap, a proper structure where ideas with it that we can deal with it and we can learn with it, structure and many theories and ideas that can make us capable enough to get hired and placed in next upcoming 4 years of placement.
Beautiful. And what's your name?
Sparsh Gupta.
Sparsh Gupta. A big round of applause for Sparsh. He called out that problem so beautifully, right? That a lot of the students face that there are so many things available online. We're supposed to do 10 things to build a particular skill. So, in a way, he basically said he will build a mentor bot that will help consolidate a lot of those things in one place so student can just at the click of a button or a click of a prompt get the answer on what we can do differently. So Sparsh, I hope that you go take this up to the dean, to the faculty and the mentors, and I'd love to see where this project does land for sure. But that's a signal for everyone, right? This is a problem that he clearly identified, and these are the signals that I was also referring to. So moving on to also answer, the best problem is right in front of you, but are you keeping a wide eye open or are you ignoring it like everyone else? So the very first point is look for the friction. Like Sparsh said, he saw the friction very clearly that students want to pick up a skill, but there are so many resources. There's so much available online. The curricula is so distributed. How should students find one place and one spot to be able to get everything together and learn and grow through that particular skill? The second one is look closer at home. North Cap University for the next 4 years is going to be your second home. So ensure that you're going ahead and looking out for the problems that everyone faces. It can be minuscule in a lot of people's eyes, but maybe it's a problem worth solving if you have seen it through your own eyes, you felt the pain, what others are feeling. And also, the question on that's how it is done. I think a lot of us, when asked on, oh, ye traffic ka problem hai, I'd be like, oh, but that's the daily routine, right? But is someone doing something about it? So that's the question that you need to pick up. If a problem has an answer, oh, that's how it's been done. So I think we've just learned to live with it. Pick that problem up, start solving. Leverage the resources at your university, leverage the faculty members, leverage the innovation labs that you may have here to ensure that you are applying the skills that you learn and are also visibly branding yourself online as you build this together. I'll give you a real world example, fool.co. How many of you have heard about it? A raise of hands? Okay, so I don't think a lot of you have heard, which is a good thing actually, because then I get to talk a little more about this. So a lot of you may visit the religious places, in your communities. There's a lot of flowers that are actually put to the deities. And what happens to the flowers? It is discarded. That was a problem that this particular founder actually identified while at college. And what turned out to be a successful brand was how do you recycle some of these temple or we talk about a masjid related waste and make it into something that can be used again in the home. So that is yet another innovation the person came up with. And those are the signals that I am talking about, the problems worth solving. Now it's your turn. A quick again. We gave you a problem here. Sparsh spoke about an example. But are you aware of any collegepreneurs who picked up a problem and started solving for it in college? Anyone? Anyone aware of any collegepreneurs who picked up a problem? And if you have your phones, feel free to use ChatGPT, Claude. You can use it right now. And if you want to answer. If you have your phones, you can feel free to. I hope we have the permission to. So you can feel free to use ChatGPT, Claude. You'll have the answer at the fingertip. So feel free to. I just need 2 answers or 2 examples. The moment I said remove your phones, everyone was like, wow, we got an opportunity to scroll Instagram. We got an opportunity to scroll Facebook. But I'm sure that you all will also try to find the answer of who were the collegepreneurs, in your view, that sort of were able to solve a problem that others saw, but maybe walked past. Anyone? Another 10 seconds. I know ChatGPT is really fast. I know Claude is really fast. Anyone? Most certainly, I'd love to hear that, ma'am.
So we have a provision of VC Vice Chancellor's Innovation Fund, and students are given seed money to develop such projects, which are useful to the community, for the university, and student community as well. So my students have developed a carpooling app.
Wow.
So that they can reach the campus, and they used to face a lot of parking related issues. So that carpooling app has been a great success. Then apart from that, the students also wanted to utilize the library in the best possible manner. So they also developed an app for library utilization.
Wow.
So these are some of the examples which students have been doing. And then they also developed a peer tutor app.
Lovely.
So that some of these students who are very bright and advanced learners, they could tutor the slow learners and help their peers out. So these have been developed in-house.
Lovely, beautiful. I think a huge round of applause for what ma'am shared. There's a VC seed funding that's available, and there are students or your seniors who've actually gone ahead and solved some of the problems that were prevalent in the campus. So ensure that from what ma'am shared, take a cue. Be aware around yourself. What is that one problem that others are ignoring but you'd love to solve? It won't be easy for sure, but you will always have an answer some way or the other. And get your groups together, whoever you think are like minded people, get them together, solve those problems, and you never know, you may have a company running someday and you'll be representing North Cap in the industry. So do not forget, keep an eye out for all the problems that you think. And Sparsh, thank you so much. I think you already have a queue with what ma'am said. So I think you should reach out to her, share that idea, and see what you can do out of that. So moving on, I'll give you two examples here. So the carpooling app, ma'am, that you were talking about, was it GoPool by any chance, or was it something different? Oh, lovely. Great. So I'll take two examples. One is of InShorts. So Azhar Iqbal, one of the founders, there are two more actually, started off by creating a Facebook page called InShorts. So I do know that at least I don't love reading those long 20 pages newspapers, right? I do not have the attention span for that. And if you ask me, can you read an Economic Times website? There's an interesting news there. I will always be like, I would prefer InShorts, right? So he started off a Facebook page called In Shorts, News in Shorts, which summarized the entire news article that could have been about 100 words or 200 words into just 60 words for easy consumption. Now, that's a problem that all of us faced in the past, right? We don't want long books. Amazon gave in a book, or, a digital book. There was Audible where you can hear the book, right? So pick up some of those problems that you see your peers are facing, right? Or within the university, if you think there can be something which can be done in a much more better fashion, those are your problems to solve, right? The next one is Zepto. While Zepto is actually a company today, I think where Adit Palicha and Kevalle Vora actually started was by a carpooling app called GoPool, right? Because they also stated that they face the same issue while in college in terms of how do you carpool, right? Where do you park the vehicles? It is very difficult because parking space was a problem. The very same issue, right? So before they came up to Zepto, to build Zepto into what it is today, they actually tried how will that entire delivery piece work? How will the application actually ensure that we have a view in terms of what's available, ensure that we're able to reach our destination on time? So these are certain problems that college students identified when they were studying, and they went on to build companies out of this. So ensure that your vision is big. Do not think small. No problem, no matter how trivial it is. It may sound funny to everyone, would actually be worth solving. So ensure that you're keeping an eye out. Signals today is brand new tomorrow. Brand new is actually my favorite piece, because while you build signals in your universities, if you don't sell them well online, if you don't talk about it online, you are only building a brand within your university. So today, my parents would know me as Vatsala Saxena. They would know me, I have a brother. My community would know me like that. Or they would just know me as I work with Wipro as associate director. But are there facets that exist to Vatsala beyond just the titles? Yes, 100%. So your brand you is what are you trying to narrate as a story about yourself to everyone that would want to know a Sparsh, a Pushpak, a Divyanjali, for example, right? So ensure that you're going ahead and defining your journeys the way you wish for people to read it online. So your signals today slowly compound in the brand that you will build. And that will make you a trusted advisor, a trusted person, a mentor, someone who can contribute to the larger problems of the industry, etc. So focus on this. If you want to take pictures of this slide, think about this a little later, right? And ensure that you are thinking about not just what signals you want to build, but what is your brand? Like Zepto is a brand, Wipro is a brand, right? What is brand Pushpak? What is brand Sparsh? What is brand Divyanjali? Think about that and then build the narrative that you want people to read or hear about you. The next one is again, you can take out your phones. And what is your digital footprint? Is the very same thing that I was talking about. Google your name. And I'd love to see what do you see? Do you feature on the first search of or the first page of the search? Or do you just don't feature at all? And I see the happy faces once again. Google yourself. And I'd love to hear from a few of you in terms of what did you find? Take a quick 20 seconds. These will be interesting revelations, today. The moment you Google yourself, what are you seeing? Anyone ready to share? Anyone ready to share what they found about themselves on Google? So I see Rashi raising hands. I hope I have your name correct, right? Awesome.
Ma'am, I just Googled myself. My name is Rashi Rathi, and it says that she is an independent non-executive director at Command Polymer Limited.
So that means there's another Rashi Rathi. Or
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
you?
No, ma'am,
right?
it's that not me.
But did you find yourself, maybe your LinkedIn page or anything on the first page of the Google search? Did you?
No, ma'am, not me.
Mm-hmm.
But these are I see a lot of creators whose
Mhm.
surname is Rathi.
Right.
Yes.
Lovely. So that's your cue. If you did not find yourself on the first page of the search, that's your cue on what brand do you want to build for yourself that the moment you type Rashi Rathi, in the first few searches, your name features, even if that means a LinkedIn profile, or maybe the GitHub project that you may have shipped, or anything else on any other website or research paper that you may have published recently. So ensure that you're focusing on what that Google search should narrate about you. That's the brand that you will build, and that's the brand that people will see when they go ahead and look up who is Rashi Rathi. Do we have a second share? A last one? Okay, we have someone here in the fourth row. In the fourth row, we have someone.
The first search that I see is Puspal Basu, Senior Development Operations Engineer at Deloitte.
And that's not you.
No, that's not me.
Did you look through the whole search page? Did you
Yes,
find yourself
actually-
anywhere?
Yes, actually, I found my father's Instagram account somewhere. I don't
Oh,
know.
lovely. That means your dad is building a stronger brand than you for now.
I think he is.
Lovely. No, but thank you so much for sharing Pushpak, right? Look, that's also a hint. He was able to find his father's Instagram page, which means that his father, who may be running an organization or doing something differently, actually showed up on the search. So ensure that you are building your narrative, not Google deciding what I need to pick up about a pushpak or a Rashi, right? So this is your cue on rethinking how you want to redefine yourself. Build your brand before you graduate. So it's very simple. I've kept it as a build framework. So B for us is build something. Ensure that you're identifying opportunities that we spoke about, be it an internship, a community activity, a project, a problem on ground, or anything at your homes as well that you think is a problem. And start vocalizing some of those things that you're trying to solve within your universities and on your online platforms as well. Understand real world problems. The U is understand. So keep an eye open for all of it. I, again, is increased visibility. So the digital footprint example and activity that we did is your cue on how do you ensure that you build a very strong strategy on defining brand you. Lead beyond your role. Today you're a student, right? But you can be a mentor. You can also be a creator. You can be so many other things apart from just being a student at North Cap University. So ensure that you're identifying what other roles do you connect with, and go ahead and take that shot on and make it big. And the last one is develop consistency, which a lot of the students have actually spoken here. So ensure that you're consistently building your narrative one step at a time. So don't chase success in semester one. Go ahead and build signals, right? Because for these 6 months, and read this carefully, I'll just read it out as is for you. Discover what excites you. Do not rush into just getting to solve something because you said, oh, I was told someday in some session by some Vatsala Saxena that you need to solve signals, so I'm picking this problem up, right? Think about it. Does it excite you? Is it a problem that you wish to solve for and you know that you learn more from it, right? Build relationships. So today the activity that we did here initially was to just show you that you will be part of different teams. You will collaborate with different people, right? How do you make them your allies? How do you ensure that you're learning from your peers? How do you also select peer mentors out of these entire set of people that you work with, right? Try things you may fail at. So do not fear the what if question. What if I fail? What if, this doesn't work out? People will think bad of me. People will judge me. Those people are not paying your university fees. Your parents are. So, what do you feel about yourself? And what do your parents feel about yourself matters to you most than what others will think about you. So, do not care about perceptions, but ensure that you don't hurt anyone in the process. That's for sure, right? Because we do not want to turn out to be people who just walk over people because we need to grow big. So, ensure that empathetically you're owning your story as well. Learn beyond the classroom. We've discussed a lot, so I'll not sort of emphasize much on this point. The last one is identify problems worth solving. Keep your eyes and ears open. And this is just a 30-day sprint guide. I'm not going to spend too much time here. You can take a picture if you like, but ensure that you're creating a guide for yourself. It can be a 30-day guide, it can be a 60-day guide for your first semester to ensure that you're defining step by step how will you start identifying problems. What are the people that you will need to speak to? What are the skills that you will need to build to solve it? And what is the first version or the prototype that you would want to build? May not be a success, but at least it'll be a version 1. So do not chase perfection. Start first with the roughest output or the roughest prototype that may exist for that problem, and then start working with people to then make it perfect. Because the more you start chasing perfection, the more you're delayed because of those outcomes, right? And I hope this helps you as well. The last one is LinkedIn is again a professional platform. I saw a lot of you had not raised your hands when I asked you, do you have LinkedIn accounts? When I asked the second question, do you have active LinkedIn accounts? A lot of you put your hands down as well there, right? So ensure that you start talking about the work that you would start doing in North Cap University. And this is just a step-by-step approach in terms of how your first post can look like. Not necessary that it has to be this, it can be anything else, right? But ensure that you talk about the problem that you picked up, right? The people that you spoke with. What were the skills that you had to build? What were the outcomes that you achieved? And what are the next steps that you're going to actually take to ensure that this solution becomes a little better than it was before. So take a picture of this as well. And I'd love to see a lot of you start posting about your journeys and the problems that you pick up to solve. And feel free to tag me. I would love to be spammed if I get to see how many of you were able to start your journey on LinkedIn, building your brands, the brand you. Before semester one comes to an end, this is more a slide for you to reflect, right? By the time you end semester one, ensure that you have questions worth answering. Was there a problem that I picked up? I may not have solved it, but I started solutioning for it. Did I build a core circle through which I'm learning? People who are enablers in my journey. Did I start building my brand in semester one? If the answer is no, I don't think you've done it right. Try it again in semester two. How do you want to sell yourself better on the online platform? And the last one is, what did I learn? Because everything that you undertake in your journey of 4 years would always make you learn something. And be rest assured that learning would be very different from what your peer might have actually picked up. So do not compare yourselves. Do not try to go ahead and think that person's journey is better. Why am I so slow? It's your journey. Own it. Own the speed that you're at. Own the efforts that you need to take to become better. That's why that's your story, not anyone else's. So invest in yourself wisely. And your biggest opportunity, which I said again, you have a lot of time at hand. Never say that, I have a lot of time. You have a lot of time, but for you to use wisely. You have your mentor circle, your peer circle, your faculty, a lot of innovation lab, and even the vice chancellor seeding fund that ma'am spoke about. So think about how do you want to start leveraging some of these things to both your benefit, to the university's benefit, and the industry's benefit at a whole. You can start small. There's nothing. Amazon didn't start big. It started small. Zepto didn't start big. It started small, right? You can build irreplaceable skills. And by that I mean communication, right? How are you building your brand? The narrative that you're actually wanting to talk about are the irreplaceable skills. If you learn a Python, AI can replace you. But if you learn Python and you have done something different using Python, that's a skill that AI cannot replace. So ensure that you're identifying some of those activities as well. And I'd like to end with one thing that I always love to refer to. Always remember that your student journey, and I also refer this to as in the professional journey, is like that dum biryani that we all love. Because it has the perfect mix of the failures, the successes, the chances we did not take, the unhappy conversations, the happy conversations, the celebrations. And that is what makes that dum biryani worth savoring. So thank you so much again for having me here. And I'd love to hear back from all of you if you have any questions, and wish you all the best for your journey.
If any of you have any more questions for ma'am, please feel free to ask and raise your hands.
Hello, ma'am. Myself, Parmeshwar. I wanted to ask that DSA is important for all of the students to get placed in a technical job. But I wanted to know that is DSA also important in corporate sections where we have to do tasks using DSA? Like, is that something?
Okay, so I'll answer this question a little differently, right? Because we've also recruited in BTech campuses as well. Now, the challenge there is, why do recruiters end up asking the same type of questions? Is because they get the same type of answers, right?
Right,
So,
ma'am.
research a little bit. And if you think it will add value in the corporate side as well, ensure that you're not just building DSA, but you're also adding additional skills and signals that will correlate and help the companies understand why are you different than the rest of the 1,000 people who are also interviewing for the job.
Right, ma'am. I don't think I'm so different. Like I'm just a normal guy, but I just want to be successful in my life, and that is the reason why I am standing here in NCU.
You are different, trust me.
Okay,
right?
that's a very good pressure for me, ma'am. Thanks.
No, because I too was one of the student years back sitting in a campus auditorium at SRM University thinking, what's different in me? I'm probably like many other students sitting here. But if I'm here today, obviously there's something that made me different, right? So
Right, ma'am.
identify what's that different for you,
Right,
right?
ma'am.
And hone that skill and ensure that you're also building signals that help you give back to the community as well, right?
Right, ma'am.
So never say that there's nothing different about me. I'm just as anyone else. Each individual, if God took out the time to carve us out, each one differently, no fingerprint is the same. Then
Right.
how can you say that you're just same as everyone seated here? You're not.
Yes.
So find your different.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Awesome.
Do
Actually,
anyone
ma'am,
have more doubts?
ma'am, I have a question to ask. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to know something that you yourself working as an HR in a company. So, what catches your eye in an employee that what you see that you told about signals, they're making projects and skills and all, but what you actually seek in them, like opportunities and other things that make you catch their eyes that like this guy can make something and all. And in the internal environment of your company, and internally what company seeks, like many of them are like the way new AIs are coming and the
All
way
of you,
old
please be quiet. Maintain the decorum.
and the way the old decorum of the AIs are being replacing by the AIs as well. So what companies are like making themselves that what their mindset and what guy they should hire and what not, right? DSA, we talked about Python, we talked about C++. Many of them, I will say every one of them know them, like, and it's what make them feel selected is their signals, what they actually made and their skills, what they actually build different from them. But I'm asking you personally that you as an HR working in a company, hiring employees, what you will seek and what makes a guy validate for you that this is something that I will hire for sure.
So to answer your question, when I'm personally interviewing students, right, I look for proof of what makes them different, right? So I'll give you two examples of a very recent interview that I had taken during a campus placement a few months back. So I asked the same question to two people, right? So let me just take one name, Parmeshwar, right? I asked them, define Parmeshwar for me. Who is Parmeshwar, right? The answer one student gave me was, I studied for 4 years in electronics and communication. I come from an ABC background. I learned Python, I learned DSA, AI, etc. The second student actually said that, ma'am, while I come from a farmer's family, I didn't let that hold me back. AI was a skill that everyone talked about. My parents didn't know how to read and write, but I ensured that I will build a solution at a small scale that will help my parents get information at the tip of their finger through mobile phones in a language that they will understand. That was a signal for me. So who do you think I would have said a yes to?
Like the way first of all his own thoughts that he thought. First of all, like many students just learn and don't think that but they can actually make something. They actually seek the problem and made us trying to make the solution. That's a signal that you are asking for, that you look for,
Right.
right? And it's all about the as secondly as a personal mindset, that is he himself ready to lead or not.
Yep.
Maybe they know the skills, but they are they just can't lead. They can't make themselves front and stand the image and answer all those questions. That pressure that they can't handle, that also makes them feel from the odd from the crowd, that makes them to hire as well. And their consistency and hard working, that's the other thing that matters as well.
And I'll tell you something, I'll give you a different perspective as well. So I do look for confidence. I won't lie, right? But there are certain people who may not necessarily be confident, right? Because they are nervous, probably. It's a placement day, it's an interview, right? But in some way or the other, if they're able to communicate to me a signal, even if you're nervous, you may fumble a little bit, you may have a mother tongue influence, that's okay. As long as you're able to still present what you did differently compared to the other students who learned Python,
Yes.
right? I would look at that. So if I have to look at something beyond confidence, it is the ability to ensure that you communicate what you have done, no matter what the person on the other side of the table may think. whether it adds value or not. So that's another skill that I actually look at. Communicate irrespective of what the other person on the other end of the table might think, right? So
Just
build confidence, make yourself different. Everyone would be learning DSA, everyone would be learning AI, everyone would be learning Python, R language, etc., right? But what makes you different would be that signal that you are able to give during a placement day. So you will still have the same set of questions recruiters will ask. It is upon you on how differently you answer that question. I can just say, I'm Vatsala Saxena, I have X number of years of experience, I'm in HR. Instead, if I start with, I am Vatsala Saxena, I believe in the philosophy experiment to experience. And that's what brought me to the field of HR. Which introduction do you think actually would stick to a person's mind interviewing you?
the second one.
That's what is your answer. So ensure that you build your narrative very strongly and communicate it clearly to the people interviewing you during your campus placements.
Just show them your journey, what you actually learned, what you actually know, the signals, how you actually think, and
Yes.
what you can make, what are you
Yes.
thinking, and what you actually, like all the other stuff. Just share your plans and don't think what they will think, that they can judge people, like
Yes.
they will know that he's stealing what, yeah, on that basis.
Lovely.
Thank
So
you.
don't worry, even if you probably think you've not made the cut. When you enter the corporate will
Please
teach you a lot of
maintain
other
silence.
things. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's cool.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks for asking that
Have a nice
question.
day.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an amazing session. May I now request Mr. Vikas Darula, Director of CSAR, to kindly grace the stage and present the memento to our distinguished guest.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an insightful and inspiring session. Your thoughts on building skills, creating meaningful experiences, and preparing ourselves for opportunities from the very beginning have given us valuable perspectives that will certainly guide us throughout our academic and professional journey.
May I now request our respected faculty members and the organizing team to kindly come on stage for a group photograph with our esteemed chief guest.